As the pod, we are back. As you can see, the solo pod today, man. Shout out to my brother DT down at D&J Hookah and Broody for hosting me the last 2 weeks. We're gonna be back with that motherfucker with another special guest, so y'all stay tuned for that. It was fun, man. I hope you guys viewed the episode last week. Probably the most fun I had on the pod. So, man, make sure y'all view that. The link is in the description, guys. So go ahead and view that. We will be back with another special host or special guest. Got to keep that rolling. One of your favorites. So hope you watching and tuning into that. The pod is rolling, man. This is episode 10. I came live in front of you guys 10 times, and that means something to me, man. I will not quit. I don't give a fuck that the views is not there yet. A lot of people with pods be NBA stars and NFL stars and pro stars. Man, I'm coming to you raw, man, straight from Chicago, straight from the gutter, man, giving you the pod today and can continue to give you the pod. So I hope you keep watching. So that's something to drink about, something to smoke about. And as you see, I got my hookah with me today. So we're going to be a lot of hookah pools, a lot of bullshit talk as always. So let's keep up with me and let's continue to roll. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment, guys. Let's keep it rolling. The first topic today, man, as we roll into the pod, man, as you can see, like I said, I'm smoking my hookah. I gotta smoke the hookah now, guys. Just a backstory. I used to vape for about a year, and I didn't have any health scares or anything like that, like you see on Facebook. Uh, but I did notice I was doing it too much. It was too convenient. I drive a lot, so I wake up at 6:45 every day. I don't get home again till about 7 o'clock at night, right? And the whole time I'll be vaping. Whenever I break from work, I go to the car vape. I drive a lot. I coach football at Lane Tech. I work on the east side of Chicago, so you know that's a long drive down Lakeshore, vaping the whole time. So I didn't like how convenient it was for me, and so I decided to quit, and I'm back on the hookah because you can only do it at home, and I ain't at home as much. So I figured it'll work for me a little bit, you know, take down the smoke, and I ain't gonna stop hookahing though. We fuck with the hookah. Shout out to D&J Broody and Hookah, D&J Broody and Hookah Bar, man. They got me back on the hookah, man. I had to buy my own personal machine. All right, that's enough of that. I don't want to make y'all jealous on the hookah. How you start hookahing, but um, yeah, man. So I had to stop that vape shit. I feel hookah is a little less convenient. I can't take it with me in the car and shit like that. I won't get the portable hookah and all that. I'm just gonna stick to the in-house hookah, all right? And then when I'm down to D&J. So we're gonna hop into the first topic of the day, man. You already know what it is. It's that motherfucking baby BBL of the week. All right. Shout out to the gold microphone, man. Shout out to the motherfucking gold microphone. Shout out to Amazon. Hook me up. Obviously, I paid for it. Hopefully, the pod get popular enough where they just start sending me shit like they do Unc and them niggas down in there. So the BBL of the motherfucking week this week, man, it's the Fever. All right, the Indiana Fever. I'm sure you know all about them. Caitlin Clark drafted #1 overall to the Fever. Um, what the record is 2-9 right now as we speak. Probably gonna be worse when the power is released. Caitlin Clark is struggling a little bit. She's scoring her points not efficiently. She's getting her assists, turning it over about the same amount as us is, and she rebounding. So the numbers look respectable. I think she at this point 16, 6 and 6, 16, 6 and 5. My problem with the Indiana Fever is not their record. I understand that they was the worst team in the league when this shit got going. So I'm not too much into the record right now. I'm into the way Caitlin Clark is being treated. Okay, uh, she getting pushed around. She getting uh, shit. Anything you could think of, they doing it to her. They elbowing her. You seen that girl Carter from the sky straight up shove her to the floor. Now she did elbow that girl, so she deserves some type of retaliation. But at the end of the day, man, a lot is going on with Caitlin Clark right now in the league, and it's WNBA cash cow, right? This is the most it's been viewed because she's in that league. Everybody loves Caitlin Clark, although she's still not playing great. We still love her, right? We still love to watch it. It's like a soap opera right now, man. WNBA is definitely something to view right now. Um, but what's up with her teammates though? Y'all ass, man. Ain't nobody stepping up for her, man. No pun intended, man. Y'all going out like some hoes, man. Y'all, and I'm not talking about. I'm not calling a female a bitch, so don't cancel me. But man, if this was the NBA, man, I'd be like, bro, they some bitches, bro. Why not? We wouldn't see nobody fucking with Brian like this. right? When Michael Jordan was in the league, man, Charles Oakley would never let a motherfucker lay a hand on Mike, right? You seen the Indiana Pacers, which is the NBA affiliate to the Fever, or maybe not affiliate, but in the same city. The Bucks was fucking with Halliburton, and the next day they went and signed James Johnson. If y'all don't know James Johnson, that motherfucker UFC certified. That nigga got hands, registered hands. All right, and they said it on ESPN countdown. You can tell the Pacers walking different now that they got Jones out there. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like the way the Fever not responding, man. The Fever not responding to uh uh they star per se getting pushed around, uh getting slapped around, getting bullied. I see the motherfucker turn down a second free throw to guard a 94 foot. Well, set a hard screen on the bitch. Give an elbow back. You know what I'm saying? Get in the face a little bit of these players who trying to bitch her, man. Because again, at the end of the day, obviously they hoop. I seen Clark or Carter of the other Sky come out and say, "Man, we just hooping, right?" Yeah, she said, "Why y'all talking about a force a boy hoop?" Carter, respectfully, I respect your game, but every star in these leagues, NBA, NFL, all these teams, they got a guy or a female in this instance that don't fuck around, man. They not gonna allow their teammates to be pushed around, get shoved. I seen Matt Barnes come out and say, um, my job was to protect Kobe, protect Blake Griffin, protect whoever the star was on his Dwight Howard, the stars on his team, right? So Clark Carter, I don't agree with you saying that the FIFA don't need to enforce it because they going out like flat holes right now. No pun intended. All right. Not trying to call the girls a derogatory term. I'm just saying in general. This is what I would say about the NFL. This is what I would say about the NBA when someone is going out like a bitch. All right. Step up, man. Step up. This girl is she. I mean, she trying to hoop. She doing all she can, man. She doing all she can. She's struggling right now, but she going through some shit now, and she needs somebody to step up and hold. Just be a backbone. I don't even see her teammates even jumping to her defense in no circumstance. There's been a lot of shit going on in this league and in these games with Caitlin, and ain't nobody doing nothing. So I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. If I was a girl and I was on a fever and Caitlin Clark came in, she's the cash cow. She's our starting point guard. I see people trying to play her more aggressively. I see people trying to get under her skin. I'm getting under your skin. I ain't the greatest hooper in the world, but I'm a tough motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm a tough motherfucker. I was a little diva when I played football. A little deviant. How you say it? Diva-ish when I played football, right? I was a receiver. So I ain't getting motherfuckers' faces, but I hope that my fullback or my lineman, you see a lineman when the quarterback get pushed around, man, the motherfuckers will take any motherfucker who did and take their ass 10 yards to the sideline. You know what I'm saying? I'm a football coach. I don't fuck around like that. I try to teach toughness. Motherfuckers step on my quarterback. All right, my team don't respond the way they do need to. I'm gonna talk to their ass in the next practice, in the next film section, and show them like, is this okay? Perfect example. I had a player uh, this last year. He was too friendly with the other team. We end up losing the game by a point, or we end up tying. I hate ties. I just don't think there'd be ties, but it's high school, lower level football, right? So we end up tying. We missed the extra point to win the game after we scored. We stopped them on the 2 point conversion. We had a kicker, so I tried to kick it, and he jagged little slightly left. But during the game, my middle linebacker and starting tight end, he was a little friendly with the other team, and we was down 6 in the fourth quarter in the clutch, and I didn't agree with it. We had a player injured on their sideline. I go to the sideline and check on the player, and I look over. We was on defense. I look over. I noticed my middle linebackers fucking around with their players, right? Joking around instead of checking on his guy who just got injured, trying to defend these guys. So I tell his ass get to the sideline. I benched him for a few plays, needed him. So in the clutch, I wasn't finna sit him out for the rest of the game. But in the next film session, the next week, I told his ass in front of the team, I said, you ever do some shit like that again in the clutch, uh, tough game, we trying to win, and you fraternizing with the other team, I will bench your ass for the rest of the season. I end up benching them for the first half of the next game just to prove a point to the other guys. Right? That's in my eyes, that's teaching toughness. That's teaching, hey, in between these lines, we a family and we going at it 100% behind one another. Right? I ain't got no friends on the other team right now. If these my boys, I'll talk to them after. So that's what I teach. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think the Fever are showing that right now. They not showing that togetherness, and that's probably why they 2-9. They letting Caitlyn, they letting her go out look like a sucker right now. Because like I said, if Matt Barnes was out there, he was a female. You put his personality in a female, ain't no way. It's no fucking way, gang. No fucking way. And I know I'm hitting this hookah pretty hard, and that's why I quit the vape because I smoke the vape the same way. So don't mind me. But and the gist of it, man, BBL of the fucking week goes to the Fever basketball team because y'all got to stick up for this girl. All right, I don't give a fuck if it's anybody on the fucking team. Y'all pushing around one of our guys, one of our killers, man. I'm on your ass. I'm not fucking around, bro. I'm on your ass. And if I'm the coach, you got to step up too. Next film session, y'all see this? You see this? You see that? Where were you? Why aren't you helping her up and in that motherfucking face? It should be one motherfucker helping her up, and the other three should be in the. I'm sorry, it's hard for me not to say mean words, but other people should be in the other girl face telling them, man, hey, calm the fuck down before it get like that in here. Even if you ain't gonna touch her, let her know. We gotta stand on business, man. Listen, man, this is the sports at the highest level, competitive. Ain't nobody gonna judge you for standing up for your guy, for your gal. Stand the fuck up. Let's go. So BBL of the fucking week, man. Indiana Fever basketball team, man. I hope it get better as the season go on. I know y'all not gonna be a good team record-wise. They just got their ass beat the fuck up in back-to-back games by the Storm, and then the Liberty, who's a great team, beat the fuck out of them today. But I ain't worried about that record, man. I want to see some toughness out of these girls, man. Everybody watching now. We can see it. The eyes is on the lead. I seen more highlights and stories and quotes from women's basketball players this last month than I've seen in any of my time as a sports fan. And I'm 31 years old. I've been watching sports shit since I was 5, 6, not even joking. Right? So y'all got to step up, man. I'm a little salty that it ain't happening. I'm not a huge Caitlin Clark fan. I got a close coworker who said she got a punchable face. She didn't like her antics in college. And she's white. I'm gonna say that right now. My coworker is white because there's a lot of race war shit going on with Caitlin Clark. I don't like that shit either. Right? So that's why I'm preferencing this. Right? It ain't just black people who don't like her, right? Or not a fan of her. It's everybody. Some people just don't like her antics. So my coworker said she got a punchable face. I don't like her antics. I don't like her. She treat her coach. And I would think some of the girls on other teams think the same way about her. So they might be a little tougher and a little rougher with her. Cool. That's basketball. I'm not telling them to stop. What I'm telling you is the Fever, the other motherfucking 11, 12 players on their team got to stand on business when it comes to anybody on that motherfucking Fever team. And that goes for everybody in WNBA, everybody in NBA, everybody in NFL, and so forth on. Motherfucker challenge your family member, your teammate, the motherfucker who you go on war with for 48 minutes. You stand on that business and make sure motherfuckers know this shit ain't happening. And if it keep happening, then we'll have a problem. Take a fine. Maybe may come to a suspension. Draymond Green gonna stand on that business, huh? You see, he ain't had nothing to do with that altercation in Minnesota. What he do to Rudy? What he do? Man, I'm standing on this business. Right? Nurkic had a little blow up or something. I'm standing on this business. Right? You need a motherfucker like Draymond, a motherfucker like Dennis Rodman, a motherfucker like Charles Oakley, a motherfucker like Matt Barnes. Stand on that, a motherfucker like an offensive lineman in the NFL. Stand on that business. All right? So BBL of the fucking week, man. The Fever's basketball team, all the ladies outside of Caitlin Clark too. Get a little tougher. Say something back. I see you with a lot of flopping and falling to the floor. Look what she did. Hey, you ain't in Iowa anymore. All right? We're not in Kansas anymore, Mary Lou. Mary Lou. You gonna have to start on that business too. You for sure gonna have to start on that business. Because motherfuckers think you a punk, man. Motherfuckers is thinking you a punk. I guarantee you, man, a motherfucker like Draymond Green, ain't nobody coming behind him and bumping him to the motherfucking floor, right? Anybody doing that to A'ja Wilson because they know, right? That Aces team like this, boy, they coming. Kelsey Plum and them girls, they coming. And even if they ain't gonna fight, standing on business. So stand on that business, Fever. Stand on that business, Fever. Going out like some suckers, man. No pun intended, y'all going out like some hoes. Hey, tighten up. All right, man. We're gonna continue the episode, man. Make sure to hydrate. I'm gonna hit my water because y'all don't mind the slurps and shit, man. Listen, that water be hitting different. That water be hitting different. Sip of that wine as you hit that wall, huh? Sip of that. All right, we're gonna get back, man. Episode 10. He asked the pod. Listen, like I say, Fever women's basketball team. I don't mean no harm, man. I just want y'all to stand on a little more business for Caitlin, dog. And Caitlin, I want you to get a little tougher because I don't like what's going on, man. I think it should be it should be some consequences from bumping and physical play, man. They 94 feet her Patrick Beverly. Every motherfucker, other opposing point guard on the other team become Patrick Beverly when they playing Caitlin Clark, man. I set a hard screen at half court and knocked the sense out of one of them motherfuckers, man. For real, gang. I ain't gonna hold you, gang. I can't say this enough, dog. You just gotta who can hit him. You gotta stand on that business, bro. But we're gonna move it on, man. We're going on to the segment 2, man. I want to talk about the NBA a little bit. We're gonna hold on to our ass tracker. It's at the end of the ass tracker, so I won't go through all the teams. Y'all know it's the finals, man. Celtics versus Mavs. I'm excited for that. It start Thursday, so they'll be dropping. Game 1 will be the same time as the episode 10 drop, so it's gonna be exciting. So I'm not gonna go through the whole ass tracker. I'm not gonna give you the teams and all that shit, who I called ass and whatnot. Actually, I just put them here above. Go ahead and check them out. Those are the teams I call ass. All right. The reason why I call these teams ass, I didn't think they can win the NBA championship. And lucky for me, all right, only team remaining of those teams is Boston. And I believe Boston had an one of the easiest roads to the NBA finals. And we're going to see if they can pull it out against the Dallas Mavericks come Thursday. What I do want to talk about, though, on my ass track is the Timberwolves, right? It's who can hit for sure. I called the T-Wolves ass because I didn't think they had anything else outside of Anthony Edwards. I didn't think that other people would come through in the clutch for him, and I give them credit. Through the first 2 rounds against the Nuggets and the Suns, they did. Jaden McDaniels played out his mind. I give Gobert his credit. He played well. Conley played well, as well as what's my other boy name? Naz Reid. Who I don't think ever played well in these finals, and I questioned him coming into these playoffs, was Cat. We talking about a guy who made the All-Star game, a multi-time All-Star, over 50 points in this past All-Star game. Patrick Beverly talks about him a lot because he played with him. He said, man, he got all the tools, man. Cat a motherfucker, cat a dog. All right, cat a dog. We get it. Right? Cat a dog. Cat is all NBA, all this shit. But he didn't step up in these playoffs, and he left Ant-Man, they say he got tired, whatever. I just think the Mavericks played him well. They defended him well. And he wasn't big in the series, and that's happened to every NBA star, right? Jordan, it happened to Jordan. It happened to Kobe. It happened to LeBron. You remember LeBron in the series with the Mavericks, averaged 17 points, and they lost 3 straight and ended up winning. You can remember Kobe in that one series. I can't the Pistons series, right? They lost in the finals, right? So they all have those tough. You can remember Michael Jordan, his early struggles. They all have those tough runs, right, where they don't play well. And Ant-Man didn't. But Cat is the more established player in this league. Whether we like it or not, Cat has more All-Stars right now, although he's played longer. He has more accolades, although he's played longer, right? He was the number 1 overall pick as well. He cemented himself, I would think, to be talked about on this level. He would have got BBL of the week if I didn't see what happened to Caitlyn over this past week. So my thing with Cat is he left him out to dry. Ant-Man was struggling. He was getting all his attention. Why can't you step up and be and play big? I'm gonna give you some of his numbers from the Western Conference Finals. All right. The first 3 games, he averaged 15 and 8. Trash. All right. For an all-star, for a guy who scored 50 in an all-star game, for a guy who Patrick Beverley says is all this crazy, all this nasty work. Got Jimmy Butler traded and all this shit. 15 and 8. They were down 3-0. He comes back and scores 25 and 5 in the game they won. Played well. That's the only game in the series where the Timberwolves had a positive plus minus. All right. Every other game they had a negative plus minus with him on the floor, which means they were better with him off the floor. And it wasn't no minimum 1, 2, 3 points. We're talking double digits, 15, 14, 13. That final game, it was at 0, which means it was, even. All right, he had 28 and 12 in that game, but at that point the series was over. It was already 3-1. Nobody's ever came back from 3-0. He shot 33 threes in the series. He only hit 8, 24%. Trash, bro. And I just think I said this when the playoffs started. I thought that he wasn't tough enough. All right, I said this with the Fever. And this is why I call the Timberwolves ass, because I just challenged his toughness. I think he's very, very soft. I don't think he has the metal to be a number 2 on a championship team. I just don't think he has it. And it's proven in this series. Now, I know this is the Timberwolves' first go around going this deep, blah, 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 all that. I can see it. I'm calling it early. This dude doesn't fucking have it. He's ass. All right? Good player. He's going to have all these accolades when he's done. He might be a Hall of Famer, which I hate. We'll talk about that a little later. But at the end of the day, Buddy's ass. He didn't perform when they needed him the most, and quite frankly, he didn't perform this whole postseason. Ant-Man just went fucking berserk, and McDaniels, Naz Reid, and Gobert helped him out. Listen. I know some of you gonna call Gobert ass, but this is Gobert game. He's a double guy. I know he defensively he was ass this series, but who can guard Luka? They kept switching him. That's what you want to do. That's what you do, right? When you got a big who can't move well, you switch him. Right? Defensive player of the year, all that. Call him as, okay, that's your preference, whatever. I'm calling the guy as who is a multi-time all-star, is a former number 1 pick, is a guy that people praise for his talent, and he didn't step up. 15 and 8, and you down 3-0 doesn't get it done. 33 threes as a 7 feet big man does not get it done. If you say he has all this talent, he has all these moves and all this nice shit you said about him, where was that shit in that series? Where was that shit in the playoffs when they needed the most? Where was that shit when Ant-Man looked like he was running out of gas or being doubled and out, or couldn't figure out the Mavs coverage? Which means you had one-on-one, right? Defensively, he played well. He did a hell of a job on Joker. Give you credit for that. But I won't give you credit for the lack of physicality. I won't give you credit for the lack of unaggressiveness he showed at times. And even just why is your team better with you off the floor? That's ass to me. So I think it's good they got eliminated now, because if they would have made it to the finals, I think the Celtics would have had another easy walk, because he's just too soft. I just don't fuck with him. So I'm saying this now. I think the Timberwolves need to move on. I seen a post that said that Trae Young, right? They were going to trade him for Trae Young. I don't know about that. I don't think Trae Young has the metal for this, right? They compared it to it'll be like a Luka and Kyrie backcourt. I don't know about that. I struggle with that. I have to see. Trae Young did lead the team to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I don't know. I know they got to move on from Cat. He ain't it. And Ant try to be nice and say all these nice things about him, but he go home and I know he talks shit like I'm talking shit right now on the pod. So for the Timberwolves to make the jump, and they can, because Ant-Man is going to come back better, and he might be at the top MVP candidate next year, like the way he's going to play. But Cat ain't it, man. He's soft. He doesn't have the metal. He doesn't understand how talented he is. I believe Patrick Beverley when he say that he's one of the most talented dudes in the NBA. I believe that. But I think he got the Anthony Davis syndrome. And Anthony Davis is a little tougher. He let you down. I ain't gonna lie. Anthony Davis let you down. But one thing I said about Anthony Davis, you see what he did in these playoffs? That changed my mindset a little bit on it, right? Cat ain't gonna, I don't think he got it. I don't think he can change my mindset. Because you see Anthony Davis don't shoot threes no more. He gonna bang your ass. He gonna get to his spots. All right. Well, where's Cat's spots on the floor? You don't know. Because he's always doing this freelance open gym shit. Like, bro, get your listen, I'm not on that Shaq and Chuck shit saying get your big ass in the paint. But get your big ass to your spots. Be more involved in the offense when you see that Ant-Man is struggling. Be a factor off the ball, right? Don't just be standing at the wing waiting for somebody to kick it to you, right? Occupy the paint, occupy the help side defender attention. Do things that can free up Ant-Man, can free up open three for someone else, right? So I want to see the special shit that Patrick Beverley and others say about him, but I don't see it. I can see the skill. I don't see this. And this means a lot. That mental toughness means a lot. The best players in this game who got it done on that level, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, even you could say LeBron now, he had to learn it, right? Dwayne Wade, those type of guys, man, that metal. Shaquille O'Neal, those type of guys, that metal means something, right? And I don't see that in Cat. So we're going to see, man. I think the Timberwolves is going to be a good team for a long time. Even if they keep Cat. But to make that next jump, I think they got to move. I think they got to. I don't know what the move is. I haven't sat down and thought about that, but I just can see Cat ain't it. Cat ain't it, right? If you can add another person and keep Cat, that's dangerous. But I don't know if you can do that in this league. I don't know. I don't know if you can have those three guys because then you turn into the Suns. But I just know that Cat don't have this, man. He don't have that mental fortitude to be able to perform when it's time, and I can see it. And some of you might say, "What the fuck do you know? You ain't nothing but a podcaster with this and that and all that." Hey, man, proof is in the pudding. Fact check me on this. Go back to 2 pods ago, last pod. I bet my brother Polo, little brother, $250 that first I bet 100 that the Mavericks win or that the Timberwolves win Game 7. They pulled it off, miraculous comeback on the Nuggets. Ant-Man played out his mind in that second half. But I said if they happen to beat the Nuggets, they won't be able to beat the Timberwolves or they won't be able to beat the Mavericks because Ant-Man can't do it by itself. And I think what Polo was thinking was he ain't got to do it by himself. He got Cat. He got all these other guys, and Cat is the main ingredient in that. And he didn't show up when the times got rough. Cat disappeared, and he do that. I can put a lot of times where I under Cat, not just on his talking about gambling now, not just on his regular over under where it'd be like 19-20. I took it to the max and under him at 15 and it hit. How can a bet on somebody who's a multi-time All-Star, somebody who scored 50 amongst the best players in the game, somebody who people say has the most ability, one of the most talented bigs in the game, score less than 15 points in a game when you need it? I don't know, man. I don't know. And I know I said LeBron had his struggles and Mike had his struggles and Kobe had his struggles. But you got to think, man, we're talking about different people. And I keep pointing here because that metal means something to me. And I can see it in Cat that he don't have it. So I don't know what the Timberwolves going to do. But I just wanted to touch up on the ass tracker because this is why I said these Timberwolves are ass. And great run. Great run. They showed me something. They showed me that they got the potential to be an NBA champion. So I tip my hat to that. You know, I show love to that. But at the end of the day, something has to change with that dynamic of Cat and Anthony Edwards. He might have to go. So we'll see. We'll see what they do this offseason, but it is a good young team. Now moving on to the finals, man. I've never not had a gut feeling on who's gonna win the finals. I'll say that. I never not had a gut feeling. Every other finals I could think about, I had a favorite. And even if they didn't win, I could feel it. Like, okay, I could see why they lost. This finals, I don't know. So my brother, same brother Polo, reached out to me and said, "Hey, you want to bet back what we just betted, right? The 250, 250." Shout out to Polo, man. I told your ass. Uh, I told your ass, boy. Shout out to that 250 he sent, or 150, because he won the other bet. But I said, I say to myself, who is the better team? Even if Porzingis come back, who is the better team? And I don't know. The reason why I don't know is I think Luka is the best player in this series, and I think Luka has the most dog in this series. I think he's the most. When I say this about Cat, I think he's on the other end of the spectrum. This dude is a fucking dog. And although that Celtics team is the most talented team in the NBA to me, I think Luka makes up the difference with his mentality and what he's going to bring to the floor. And I ain't even mentioned Kyrie Irving, a champion who's been there, who's going to make some big ass shots in that series, some big plays, and you'll see. So the way I'm talking, it may be seem like I got the Mavericks, and I'm leaning more towards the Mavericks. I think it'll be a close series. The Celtics haven't been tested in these playoffs, and I think that's going to affect them because, well, I'll take that back. They have been tested. Shout out to the Pacers. The Pacers testing them. They didn't have a closer though, so I think the Celtics was always comfortable. I'm down 15, 20 points. We can come back. They can't close this game out. Then Halliburton got hurt, so they got a test, but it wasn't a real test because the Pacers don't have a closer who can take the game in his hands in the end of the game and close it. And they fucked that series up. They was leading 3 to 4 games in the final minutes, and they just couldn't win it. So they got a small test, but they're not gonna be tested like how Luka gonna test. Luka gonna push them to the end of the road, and they're gonna look over, and they might say, "All right, we ain't got this game." Right? And you see that a lot with the Celtics, where they give one away in the series, give two away. They try to give three away in that Pacers series, right? You can't do that against the Mavericks, man, because Luka will close your ass out. He ain't gonna turn that ball over in the clutch like the Pacers did. So my gut feeling, I don't have one. Like I really trying to persuade myself to take the Mavericks. I can't. I ain't gonna lie, I can't. But because I'm a real nigga, for the pod, I'm gonna go ahead and say Mavericks in 7. Uh, Again, if they lose, they lose, right? I don't really, I can't tell you, right? I have to see a game. I have to see like how they play it. Uh, if the Celtics is locked in, and how they defend Luka, and then after game 1, I can come back and give you a real prediction. But right now, I'm just gonna force myself to say Mavericks in 7. It's gonna be a close series. But end of the day, man, I think it's gonna be a great series. It's gonna be a watchable series. I'm happy that it's not the same old thing. I thought the Nuggets was gonna win, but I'm happy a little bit that they got eliminated because it shows the quality in the NBA amongst these teams. And so we'll see, man. One of my followers on Facebook, or one of my friends on Facebook, I coach him in Lane. He said the Celtics got to get over the hump sometime, right? Sometime soon, right? They've been there a lot, second finals and things like that. And maybe this is the time. Jaylen Brown is hit another level. Shout out to Jaylen. Drew Holiday is a piece. He's not like Marcus Smart, who defended well and did all these great things. He can defend and he can run the offense. So, and then Derek White, that ball bitch, man, he can hoop. He can hoop. He don't get a lot of credit for what he do. So we'll see, bro. We'll see. I'm excited for it nonetheless, but um, we'll see. Overall, the tracker that I was tracking the entire series, or the entire playoff, the ass tracker, I think I came out pretty good. Tell me what you think. Comment in the comment section what you think. These were my ass teams right here, and these were my contenders. All right. So tell me what you think. Did I ain't hit it on the button obviously because I had the Nuggets winning it all, but as far as me calling these teams ass and why I call them team ass, if you was following the tracker, let me know let me know how you think I did in the comment section, and we can have a further conversation there. Back, man, the hookah done died, y'all. I'm salty, so I'm on the wine for the rest of the episode, man. I gotta stop smoking that shit so hard, man. I'm lazy. I don't feel like making another bowl, but let me see that motherfucker still hitting. Hold on. See that motherfucker. See that motherfucker still hit. See that motherfucker still hit for me. Uh-oh. Oh, we in business, gang. Hey, we back, man. We're gonna keep the power rolling. Gilbert Arenas said something very controversial this week, and I love Gil. Shout out to the pod, Gil's Arenas. Gil's Arenas. Gilbert Gil Arenas beat me. Gil Arena. I fuck with the pod, Gil, so keep going, man. Invite me on, man. Get some hookah going. Y'all already drinking. I bring my yak in there, talk my shit. So he said something controversial. I'm gonna read it word for word. His quote is: "Steph is not a generational talent. Generational means you can't mimic. You can't mimic LeBron James. You can't mimic Victor Wembanyama. Jokic is not generational." Oh shit, huh? Told y'all I love Gil. Gil gonna talk that shit, and I appreciate it. All right, so might be a little dead. Hold on. Told y'all I love Gil. Gil gonna talk that shit, and I appreciate it. Huh? So let's get into it, man. So Steph Curry is not generational. Everybody calling him a hater. Everybody saying you ain't generational, nigga. You only had 3 good years. Didn't you pull a gun or all this other shit on Gil? Hey man, I'm gonna just go ahead and say I agree with Gil. I agree with him, and I'm gonna tell you why. Right? We have to stop this shit, man. We give out these titles too loosely. Everybody got these different goats. Everybody's in categories where they shouldn't be in. And it's making it hard to differentiate. I'm going to tell you right now, our generation is not going to be here forever. We are going to die. We cannot, as long as we live, everybody going to know about Michael Jordan. Everybody going to know about Kobe, LeBron. Everybody going to know. But when we dead and gone, these kids, the only thing they're going to have to go off of is the stats and who's in the Hall of Fame and who we put these titles on. Right? I seen Gil calling Gil. I seen kids calling Paul George the GOAT. You look at Paul George's numbers, his shit at the end of his career is gonna be very comparable to some of these guys who we know he can't fuck with a picture of. Right? He can't fuck with a picture of Kobe. But at the end of his career, he's gonna have a lot of accolades that's similar to, a lot of numbers that's similar to, minus the championships. Nigga ain't getting none of those. Shout out to Pod though. I fuck with the Pod, P. But these kids are calling Paul George the GOAT. And guess what? When we dead and gone, we move on, that's gonna continue. And they're gonna say, look, he in the Hall of Fame, look, he got these numbers. This is Paul George, he the GOAT. I seen kids calling Russell Westbrook his GOAT. His numbers is unfucking deniable. He has an MVP. He's a triple-double king. He's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. Nobody's gonna be able to deny Russell Westbrook's numbers. So when the kids are seeing these numbers and they start comparing these Hall of Famers and they start comparing these guys who we putting these titles on, man, let's guess what? Those guys are gonna be the one in 20, 30, 40 years that motherfuckers is talking about on Sports Center as the GOAT. I'm telling you. So we got to be careful of what we put titles on. Because everybody making the Hall of Fame now, respectfully. Everybody making it. Right? These motherfuckers in the Hall of Fame with similar numbers to the guys, again, who we think is great and untouchable. But when you compare their numbers, they in the Hall of Fame. They got the same accolades. They got the same numbers. How aren't they better? And we gonna be dead and gone, and it's gonna be no argument. The kids gonna be arguing with other kids off the numbers. Perfect example, James Harden. This generation was saying a few years ago that he was the third best shooting guard all the time, better than Dwayne Wade. A guy that won an NBA championship in his third year in the NBA. A guy who was a fucking problem. Was he having the numbers James Harden having? No, this era is so much different. The numbers comes a little easier, right? But this dude is a dude, his story in the league before LeBron James, before Carmelo Anthony in that draft class he was in, he won an NBA championship. Come on. He came back, won 3 straight against that Mavericks team. Very similar team that LeBron and himself lost to in a few years after. Not a few years, 5 years after. So we gotta just, man, generational means that they jump to me. When you say somebody's a generational talent, they mean they dominated their generation. They they had a stranglehold on their generation. For me, that's 3 generational talents in NBA history. You got Michael Jordan, number 1, dominated his generation. Stranglehold on the league. Motherfuckers knew it was smoke. When he hit his prime, that shit cooked. And you could talk about the years before and the year after. In Michael Jordan prime, that was his lead. The motherfucker left, played baseball, came back, got back in shape, and said, I reclaim my title. This is my shit. Generational. Cannot be mimicked. LeBron James, a lot of haters. We ain't going to appreciate him till we gone. Right? stranglehold on his generation. People fear LeBron James. What is it, 10 straight, however many Eastern Conference Finals. Did his shit. When he left the East, opened the East up, we just seen several different teams from the East make the finals since. But when he was there, shit cooked. Had problems with the West, and that is what it is. The West is a tougher conference, and his teams wasn't as good outside of that Heat team that when he lost to the Mavericks. He should have won that one. But that's the only title I say that LeBron James should have won. Because his teams with the Spurs, when he lost to the Spurs, when he was with the Cavs, they shouldn't even been there. Lost, right? The years when they lost to the Spurs, he's with the Heat. People don't give that Spurs team enough credit. They don't give Pop enough credit for how good of a coach he was, right? All right. The only blemish I think on LeBron James' finals record that is legit is the one with the Mavericks. He lost to the Warriors a few times. Kevin Durant was there. Steph Curry was there, right? That dude is a generational talent. Say what you want, agree or not. This dude is an all-time leading scorer. This dude has been playing 20 consecutive years, and he's just different. No one's going to do this shit again. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had that record for years. LeBron James broke it. He came in the league as an 18-year-old, and he started owning that shit from the jump. When he hit his prime, when LeBron James was in his prime, and you start to look at it before the NBA season start, you pick your champion, who you going to go with? I'm going to lean towards LeBron team. Now, we was probably hoping, myself included, that he won't win, but we had LeBron, right, every year as a contender. Means something. Generational talent. He owned his generation. The last guy I'm going to put, the only other guy I'm going to put as a generational talent, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq in his fucking prime, unstoppable. The most dominant player I've ever seen with my own eyes. I didn't watch Michael I'm a little younger, right? But I can look back and see this motherfucker clamped the lead up. They knew. He stopped a lot of motherfuckers from getting titles. Shaq in his run did the same thing. Did it in LA with the 3 titles and came to Miami in his older years as he was declining and still showed, helped Dwayne Wade, right? Dwayne Wade had a hell of a fucking finals performance. But it all stemmed from who was in that post, who was clogging that attention, who freed up that space, right? Who helped the help defender is usually, or the lane help defender is usually the big man. I can't come off Shaq. He dumped that bitch to Shaq. I'm in trouble. Right? Shaq, generational. You could say lazy. You could say he should have been better than he was. All that could be said, but that motherfucker dominated that for 3 to 5 year run. Generational. We won't see a motherfucker as dominant. Hacking Shaq, making rules to stop this motherfucker. Jordan rules, making rules to stop this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Different. LeBron James, the leading scorer in NBA history. Different. Generational shit that's not going to be done, shit you cannot mimic. He said Wembanyama is a generational talent. I'm going to hold off on it only because he's too young, but is he going to be that? I think he's going to dominate this next generation. Nobody's going to be able to fuck with Wemby. Did you see what he did this year? Generational shit. He's coming. Now he has to prove it. He has to go out and dominate. He can't be on no Kevin Durant shit. No disrespect. Well, I guess it's disrespectful. Anytime motherfuckers say no disrespect, it's coming with some disrespect. So I'm not even going to say it, right? I believe Wemby is going to do what Kevin Durant should have did. And unfortunately for Kevin, he ran into the same era as LeBron. But Wemby is going to dominate. So we got to save these titles for motherfuckers who really clamped up that league, bro. Who really put a stranglehold, because he can't be the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is too many motherfuckers in there, and it's too many motherfuckers with the numbers and the accolades that compare to these guys that we can say was better. Some people say Shaq is not even the best center of all time. I disagree. No other center dominated the league the way Shaq dominated in his era. Who? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar didn't do it. He was on the team with Magic Johnson, who is very close to being a generational talent. Right? He was over with the Bucks. He wasn't having a stranglehold on the league. Right? He didn't do that. Huh? You say the dream Hakeem Olajuwon is better. No. Motherfucker didn't bring up the dream rules. Motherfucker didn't go into the season knowing that the dream was going to win a championship. And I know he got 2 while Jordan left, right? The dream ran into Jordan. So he wasn't generational. No other center, dog. No other center has did what Shaq did. Dominated the fucking league. Dominated it. Unstoppable. Now, a lot of other motherfuckers got the accolades. You look at Charles Barkley, minus the rings, you put his accolades up with anybody, he's right there neck and neck. Was he generational? No, he couldn't get over the hump with Mike. Can't be generational. You can't get over the hump with another player. He's the generational talent, right? So we got to stop that shit. There's generations. You got to pick one player who had that stranglehold in the league. Mike, huh? Shaq. Then it was LeBron. Some people say, what about Kobe? Nah. You didn't come into the season every year thinking, all right, Kobe gonna win a ring. Kobe had a few down years, right? When Shaq left. Even when he got Paul, he won too, but it wasn't like a dominance thing where the Lakers was the surefire bet every year because the Mavericks beat them that one year when they beat the Heat. Right? So he didn't have that stranglehold like Mike did. He played with Shaq. And yes, Kobe was a great second player or 1A, 1B type, but it was Shaq. And I think Kobe resented that, and that's why Shaq had to leave. Right? It was Shaq who held that stranglehold. Without Shaq there, it wouldn't have been the same. And you can insert any other dominant big man in that time, and I guarantee you Lakers don't three-peat. Guarantee that. You can insert any other dominant big man in the time with Dwayne Wade on that Heat team, and I guarantee the Heat gonna win the finals. Shaq, generational. You can take any other. Well, I ain't got to say this. Any other motherfucker and Mike run, they already knew what time it was. Head down coming to the seasons, low expectations. Y'all know what's going on. They was mad as hell when he came back from baseball. Come on, man. This motherfucker win 3 championships, take a break, come back, win 3 more. Generational. So Steph, we can't put him in that same box is because he didn't hold the lead like that. Yeah, they had a run. For sure they had a run. But during his run, he had KD on his team. Huh? He had KD on his team. Before KD lost that 3-1 lead. Generational motherfuckers don't do that. You will never see Michael Jordan lose a 3-1 lead. Shaquille O'Neal, nah. LeBron James lost a 2-1 to the Mavericks. Yeah, I give you that. But LeBron James' pool on generation was different. It's a motherfucker who came into the league at 18 and he's doing it now at 40. Who else is doing that? You're not gonna do it. It's a motherfucker who won the championships with the Heat, went back to Cleveland, took them to the finals, came back 3-1, win the title. Came close again in Cleveland. Like, that's different, man. And nobody else can say they did it. Nobody. And Steph Curry, with respect to him, he didn't do it. It's a different type of pool. So I agree with Gil. Steph Curry is a tremendous player. First ballot Hall of Famer, all that shit. But he can't be in the same breath as these 3 guys. And if you ask me, yes, I think these are the 3 best guys in NBA history. I think Kobe is better than Shaq. Yes. In his prime. No, in his prime. Like, overall, it's the debate is because Shaq, fitness, laziness, and all that. But in his Shaq prime, generational shit. When Shaq came into the league, they ain't never seen nothing like this before. You can watch any old interview. Everybody is saying it. Man, you see this kid at LSU, we're going to have some issues, man. This dude is fucking different. Right? Nobody said that about Steph Curry coming to the league, respectfully. If he was, he would have been the number 1 overall draft pick. The only why Mike wasn't overall one overall is because it was a premium on big man back then. It was a big man's game. They didn't think a guard can do the things Mike did. And that's furthermore saying why he's a generational talent. Because guards weren't doing that, dog. Without the help of a big. No elite bigs on the Bulls team, by the way. You would be very hard pressed to name a champion before Mike that didn't have a premium big man. Or a big man that wasn't a first or second best player. Hard to do because it was a premium on big man's then. And that's why Mike went 3rd overall. Right? When LeBron James came into the league, it was celebrities at his game as a high schooler. Imagine having that pressure and coming to the league playing 20 plus years and still doing it at this level, dog. That's generational shit. Steph Curry, a great player. Will he be remembered again? Yes. These kids train 24/7 already. Somebody's gonna be able to shoot this good again because now we're opening up. At this in this day and age, the game is open. If you have that talent, they're gonna let you let that bitch go. And it's a kid training. It's a kid coming. It's a kid coming that's gonna do some the same things. Now, will he accomplish everything Steph Curry did? Maybe, maybe not. But to say he's in the same breath as Michael, say he dominated the way Shaq did, the way did he scare teams the way Shaq did? Hell no. Did he have the pool that LeBron James have? Hell no. He's never even been considered the best player in the league. It's been debatable, but we were just doing it because we was tired of saying LeBron was the best player. Like, come on, dog. No. If you're gonna be a generational talent, one, you gotta be the best player in the league for several years. People have to say you're the best player in the league for several years. Not debatable. It wasn't debatable. Shaq run his league for 3 years. He was the best player in the league, and it wasn't fucking debatable. Mike is our obviously. I don't have to explain that. LeBron don't even have to explain that. So he's not generational. All right, I got 3 guys that's generational. 3 guys. That's me. Are they my 3 best players all the time? Obviously, Mike and LeBron is 1 and 2. And shit, I got Shaq in my top 5. I think he should be at 3 if he would have had the longevity that he did. But I think he 3. That's me. People gonna hate and say, hell no, he ain't better than such and such. But explain to me, did such and such dominate the league like Shaq did? You probably gonna say Kobe better. Well, who was the best player on them teams? Shaq. And if you say Kobe, you being stubborn. When I think about this, I say remove the player. Remove the player, and will the team still be the same? No. They removed Shaq from LA and took him to a team that was similar to what Kobe can do with Dwayne Wade. And what he do? Win a ring. Then he started to deteriorate. He was over with. But you talking about a big man. Big mans can't last as long as LeBron, right? A lot of shit on their body. He's 7 feet, 300 pounds. So who was better than Shaq outside of them 2? Who dominated the league better than Shaq outside of them 2? Nobody. Think about it. No fucking body. Those are your 3 generational talents. Steph Curry, he may be the best point guard of all time. Hats off to him. Generational? No. I agree with Gil. I don't think he hating. I think he being real. Gil is one of the most real people with a podcast because he talked the shit and y'all think he hating, but he just being real. Same thing about Joker. 2 MVPs, all that shit. Cool. If Joker had a stranglehold on his league, his run started last year. He just got eliminated by an upstart Minnesota Timberwolves team. That would have never happened to Shaq in his prime. Hell no. We seen the Blazers do that shit and try to run up on Shaq. Good ass team. Took him to 7. Added Scottie Pippen, all of that. Shit cooked. Game over. And I don't care how hard the Blazers fought and they almost had him and all that shit. Nigga, game over. Shaq. Seen the Kings do that. Go get C-Webb. Build all this shit with these young. Man, game over. Shaq. I don't care what you say. Bad calls, all that. They should have lost. Nigga, Shaq. You know what I'm saying? The only blemish on Shaq, like LeBron blemish is the finals against the Mavericks. Shaq blemish, I would think, would be the finals against the Pistons. But, man, listen. They put too much around him. They try to do too much. Man, you don't got to do too much when you got a Shaquille O'Neal. Now Shaq got to pass the ball to Karl Malone and Gary Payton already sharing with Kobe. That's bullshit. When you got a generational talent, less is more. Less is more. Fuck what you're talking about. Fuck what you're talking about. And I have to believe that's what happened to LeBron his first year in Miami. It was too much. And LeBron unselfish. He's thinking about sharing and all that shit. Man, less is more. Give me LeBron, give me D-Wade, y'all go hoop. Y'all ain't need box. They got in the way of shit. That's just me, though. Get some more role players, you would have a little more money. Still going to be a championship. That's just me. When you got a generational guy, Michael Jordan, they ain't going out and trying to get Dream, or they ain't going out and trying to add Clyde Drexler or Charles Barkley and all. Man, we got Mike. Put a couple rebounders around him, some defenders, and that's a rock. You know what I'm saying? Can't say the same about these other guys. Can't say the same. And I know Steph Curry got a good argument, dog. He had a good run. But guess what? They wanted to add more. They wanted to add more to Steph Curry. Got his ass came back on 3-1. Like I said, that won't happen to the generationals. And then they had to go get KD to continue his run. You don't, come on now. Understand what I'm saying. Understand that. You don't have to do that with these 3 guys I'm talking about. That's just me though. That's just me. And shout out to Steph getting that championship after KD left. I think that was big on his legacy and probably cemented him as the best point guard of all time. But generational, nah. I'm with Gil. You can't mimic generational. There'll never be another. Won't see LeBron again. Won't see Mike. Kobe was very close, but was he Mike? Hell no. Very, very close. Nigga was good. No. Won't see another Shaq, especially in this day and age. Generational. So that's me, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. Is Stephen Curry a generational talent? And don't go off your feelings, right? And I know some of you say I'm going off my feelings, but I'm just saying we have to preserve something for the greats for people to look back on, right? Because in 30 years, man, I heard somebody on one of their podcasts say TNT is keeping Shaq alive for the young people, letting him know how great he was, right? Because these guys just don't know. So that's for me. That's why we got to start making another room for these guys, man. Another room for Shaquille O'Neal's, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. They can't be in the same. Hall of Fame is great. First ballot is great, but you still in the same breath with a lot of other guys. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be compared. Oscar Robertson, triple double. Can you go look at Oscar Robertson numbers? Man, dude was insane, bro. His numbers was insane. Imagine a kid just take the names off and look at those two numbers right now with Oscar and Kobe or Oscar and Mike. He gonna pick Oscar, dog. Take the name out of it. Understand what I'm saying to you? Just put the numbers up. Both of these guys are Hall of Famers. Who you think is better? And look at the numbers each side. Well, this guy rebounded, assisted, and scored all those points. Shit, Oscar Robertson, or not Oscar, because there ain't no names on it. Shit, this let's say for Oscar Robertson person A, Michael Jordan is person B. Oh, look at Oscar shit and say, yeah, person B, which is Michael, scored a lot of points. But person A, which is Oscar, man, he did it all. Might have to go with him. Come on, man. Imagine in 30 years when kids don't know Michael Jordan and the difference between him and Russell Westbrook, and they put their two numbers up. And you're like, man, he did it all. Like, come on, bro. So that's why we got to make a new room. We got to stop giving out these titles to everybody. We have to. Stephen Curry, great. But is he Michael? Is he LeBron? Is he Shaq? And of course you're going to say, oh, Stephen Curry is better than Shaq. He scored this, he shot the threes. Oh, boy, fuck that. Fuck that. Did they make a hack of Steph? Did they create a defense to stop Steph? No. Was Steph so dominant that the Warriors say all we need is him? Let's get pieces around him that make him great? No. They said let's go add arguably the second best player in the game. And some people ask KD was first. No. Don't happen, bro. Think about what you're saying. Well, I know you're going to say, well, LeBron joined the Heat. He went and joined all these great players and this and that. Man, that's some friend shit. Now I see him sound biased, but that was some friend shit. Then wanted to play each other, then wanted to be together and all that other shit. Same draft class. Oh, that was his decision. It wasn't the organization's decision to say, man, LeBron is not enough. We got to have more. Just ask the Cavaliers. They would not. They thought we ain't got to go get more. LeBron, we good with LeBron. That's why he left. He didn't read shit. He like, man, I ain't enough. Right? Come on, man. Come on. So I'm gonna say that, man. And let me know what you think in the comment section. But I think it's 3 generational talents, dog. 3 generational guys, and you probably gonna argue the Shaq one. But like I say, if you're gonna argue it, give me somebody who dominated the league more than Shaq in his prime. Give me somebody who came in the league and everybody in the league, all the stars in the league said, man, this dude's coming and he's going to be fucking insane. And he actually become insane. Who else did that? Nobody. They said it about the Dream, and Dream came in, and the guy in his draft class was better. Michael Jordan. Come on. So let's just be honest. And on his Wemby take, I'm gonna say that again. I said he gonna be that. And if he don't, oh well, he won't go in that category. But stop giving people the titles. I told you, kids are calling other people goats that's not goats, and we're not gonna be able to argue when we dead and gone. We're not right now. The only reason why PG ain't the goat right now is because we arguing and we talking some sense into these kids, trying to. But if in 30 years when we gone, 50 years when we gone, I'm start say 30. I'm only gonna be 60. Let me say 60 years when we gone. 60 years when we all gone. We're not gonna be able to argue for these guys no more. So let's separate while we can. Let's separate these guys while we can. So I appreciate Gil for that because it opened my eyes to say, who are the generational talents? Why am I saying this? Right? Why are they there? Right? And I when I looked at it, when I thought about what he said, and I said, no, he's right. He's right. He's right. Generational means you cannot mimic. Right? It means you are the best of your generation. You are that guy. You are the most feared person in the generation and the generation after. LeBron James has been fearing guys in the league for 20 years. Right? People talk about Mike 40 years after. Right? Hack and Shaq came and played and they started hacking the white. That rule stayed in there. Right? People talk about the Lakers dynasty still today about what they did and how Shaq couldn't be stopped. I thought it was when I was watching Shaq play, I thought it was unfair. I'm like, why? How can they? It was like a man playing with boys. I didn't feel like when you think about generational talent, that's how you should feel. This guy is above everybody. Like it's almost unfair. I don't think Steph Curry was unfair. I thought other guys had a chance against Steph, right? Think about the series, even when he beat the Celtics. People thought the Celtics had a chance. They was up. They had a chance, right? Every year, even after they was on their run, I was like, all right, they're going to get the Warriors now. People going to figure this out. They're going to figure that out. And they had a lot of instances where they got to the finals because people got hurt. It didn't matter with Shaq. It mattered with Mike. Ron's shit speak for himself. Everything he doing is never going to be mimicked. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Who are your generational talents? Let me know if I'm tweaking and if what I'm saying is wild. But that's what I got, man. And we can talk about it in the comment section below. All right, man. We're gonna close the pod out with something real, man. A real conversation. And I would love to hear y'all chime in on this in the comment section because I think it's real, man. It's a little bit beyond sports. I seen the Dwayne Wade's Club Shay Shay interview. Shout out Unc. Shout out Shannon Sharp, man. I love what you're doing on Club Shay Shay, and I love what you're doing on the overnight joint you got with my favorite receiver all time. Shout out motherfucking Chad Ocho Cinco, the motherfucking GOAT. But I seen his Dwayne Wade interview, watched the full 2 hours. Honestly, watched it last night. On the interview, he said a lot of interesting things. He talked about LeBron and how different LeBron was as a player, and when he noticed, like, yeah, this dude is the best I ever seen. He talked about how, like, in practice, that's where he first noticed it, and that's why after year one, he had told LeBron, like, hey, man, you got to do your shit. You got to get off this thinking about me and Chris shit. You got to go be you. And that's why they end up winning after. Because LeBron, like I said, very generous guy, very, he want to massage the people around him, make sure everybody's straight. So that was interesting. He also talked about his daughter. I don't want to say the name wrong because I don't want to be disrespectful, but obviously he had a kid with his former wife, a son, and that son transitioned is now a girl, and he got a lot of backlash for it. And he talked about that backlash, and I thought it was real interesting, man. It struck a nerve in me, man, because I'm a father. As you guys don't know, but I got a son and a daughter, and so anything that comes with fatherhood, anything that's talks anytime somebody shares something about it, I'll listen, man, because I believe the best fathers learn from either their actual father or other good fathers that they know. I myself don't have a father, so I like to pick, and I like to see other good fathers do how they do with their kids, and I try to bring that back to my fatherhood and try to be as best father I can for my kids, right? And he talked about how his daughter struggled, right? He see her as she grew up, that she was wearing like t-shirts on her head as hair, right? Showing that she had trying to act like she had long hair. He said he seen that he was trying to play baseball with her and basketball with her, and that she wasn't with it, right? And Wade, as a father, was thinking like, I'm having a kid around the same time as LeBron and his other friend Melo, and he was thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna have kids on the circuit, meaning hooping together, and it's gonna be dope and that shit like that, right? But he said he started to notice, right, that his daughter wasn't I guess living up to what he had in his head, right? Of what his then son would be. So he had a conversation with his now wife Gabby about it, Gabrielle Union about it, and they came up with the, hey, we're just gonna let this play out. We're gonna allow uh, her to live in her truth and just see how she progresses, and if she goes that way, then we're gonna fully embrace it. So he said he kept this in house for 19 years, so nobody knew uh, that he had at the time a gay son, right? Um, but then he started to embrace it, and as soon as he started to embrace it, the world was like, "What the fuck is Dwayne Wade doing?" Now, mind you, this whole time, the mother, his first wife of the daughter, is not with it, right? Very demeaning of it, as most public is, right? Myself included. Now, I'm not homophobic. I just didn't like. I just think like she's too young, right? What is Dwayne Wade doing? I can't believe he's doing that, right? So when I hear him talk about this and how he explained it, man, it opened up my eyes, and I put myself in his shoes and wondered and put myself like, what if this happened to my kids and how I respond, right? I can't respond like social media and be like, man, what the fuck, man? I never do that to my motherfucking kid, man. I never let my motherfucking kid do no shit like that. And he said, in our culture, right, we come in the room and we see a motherfucker doing a certain thing that's not living up to our expectations, and he said, hey, stop doing that shit, man. Get your ass in there. Don't do that shit again, right? We try to stop our kids from being them. And he mentioned how the suicide rate is very high in the LGBTQ plus community, right? That the acronym just beat me. But he mentioned that. And as he continued to talk about that, man, it struck a nerve in me, and it struck a sympathetic nerve in me, because I was one of the ones on social media that was talking shit, man. And I just didn't agree with it because I hadn't heard him talk. I hadn't heard him explain. I just seen it and didn't agree with it. But as a father, when you see that your kid is wanting to be themselves and you're denying them that, it just pushes the kid away from their provider, their family, their guardian, right? And Dwayne decided not to do that. And so, one, I give him all the credit, man. I think Dwayne Wade is obviously a great basketball player, but dude, what he is doing and is putting up with his daughter is probably one of the least amounted credited things that's going on in the world today. And the reason why I say that is just because nobody else that I know is brave enough to do that. I've had conversations with my close friends about, we all got kids, about if it went left, and not even left, but if our kids decided to go around, if I see kids decided to go down that path and how we would respond, and we all said we would struggle. But Dwayne Wade, who's a public figure, is not. He's allowing his daughter to embrace uh, who she is and what she is, and he's standing 10 toes behind that. And with all of the bad publicity, all of the bad comments, all of the negative things that they're hearing in the world, he's taking it. And he's saying, fuck you. I'm going to be a good father to my daughter and allow her to be great in her small box. And I'm going to hop in the box with her and make sure she has all the support she needs. Right? And I'm doing that knowing that her mother doesn't support it, the world doesn't support it, and if I don't support it, then who's going to be there for my daughter, and who's to say that what will happen to her mentally, and then in turn physically, right? So when he talked about that with Unc, man, it made me feel bad. Like, bro, you just got no sense, bro. Like, why didn't you ever think about this from the jump? Why didn't you ever put yourself in Dwayne Wade's shoes? And some people still gonna disagree with what I'm saying now. Niggas be like, nah, that nigga still gay, man. He living through his daughter or his son, whatever you want to call it. I'm not saying that about his daughter. I'm saying whatever you want to call, like what you feel. Uh, but man, I just applaud it, man. I think the shit is just some of the bravest shit that you can ever. You think brave is standing up to a big figure or standing up to somebody who's dominant? Man, brave is looking fear in the eye, or looking a mass of people in the eye and going the other way because you feel this way and this is what you stand on, and you're not going with the masses and saying, yeah, man, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it this way because everybody do it this way. Nah, man. Brave is stepping out on your own 10 toes, standing for what you believe up here. what I know I got to do to make sure I'm straight, make sure my kids straight. And that's what he's doing, man. So hats off to Dwayne, man. I just believe his daughter is gonna be better for this, man. We seen this a lot, in the industries of the celebrity realm. A lot of kids are a little different from what we perceive that their kid should be, right? Dwayne Wade is a multi-time NBA champion, a phenomenal, one of the probably top 3 shooting guards all the time. Everything he, like, as he said on Shay Shay's platform, everything I do, my kids have to do, right? That's how people look at it. But at the end of the day, my kid don't come out Dwayne Wade with all the attributes and all of the things I have. They don't. And we as a public, man, we do bogus shit where we put so much expectation on people and we expect them to be the same person, man. You could think about what Michael Jordan kids. I went to Marshall High School, and Michael Jordan's son played at Whitney Young, same conference, basketball wise. I seen him play 2 times a year, and he was a solid player. He went to University of Central Florida, and he was solid, good basketball player. People hating on him, nigga ass, man. Is he ass? There is a select number of D1 players in the world, and with the weight of the world on his shoulders, knowing that he's Michael Jordan's son, he still did that shit. Little Bronny James was a 5-star recruit, McDonald's All-American, right? He got all this flack. Well, he only did that because he's LeBron James' son. No, he did that because he's one of the few select top 50 high school athletes in the world. He's going to the NBA draft. Everybody throwing flack on his name. Oh, Bronny this, Bronny that. He getting this because of his dad, this and that. Well, here's the thing, man. This is America, one. So you are afforded things because of, in most cases, because of where you come from and who you know, right? You hear people in school say all the time, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? So stop playing. You got your job in most cases because obviously you work hard. But a lot of us, what we need to get jobs, references. All right. You don't walk in the job and say, "Hey, I'm Titus Perez, and I deserve this job more than the other 17 candidates you have." Nah, nigga, what do you have to show? Who can vouch for you, right? So we got to stop throwing flack on these kids' name because their parents are great and we expect them to be great. There's a lot of fucked up kids in the world, man, and good parents is the only thing in most cases that save them. I've never met my dad, ever, never. I don't remember laying eyes on him. Probably have when I was very small, right? So when we put, like, and then who's this? I don't know what my dad did, what occupation or whatever, but there's probably some expectations on me. Oh, he ain't got no dad. He probably gonna be trash. He probably gonna be a gangster. He probably gonna go the wrong way. He probably gonna do that. Now I got a master's degree, son. It don't matter who your parents is. It don't matter what you're born into or what you decide to do with your personal, right? Everybody is an individual. So saying that is, that's why I tip my hat to Dwayne Wade, because he said he was putting his expectation on his kids too. You are my son. I need you to do this. I need you to be great at that. And he took that step back and said, "Yeah, you my son, but you are you. I'm allow you to be you, and whoever you are, my job as a father is to support that." And as a father of 2 kids, man, that hit me right here, dog. Right where my heart at, left or right? Fuck it. Wherever the heart at, that's where it hit me at, dog. That's where it hit me at, because that's who you are as a parent. You are not obligated to create another you. You already did your job. They're here because of you. Now your job is to nurture. Make sure that person, the kid, is straight. Make sure you holding down 10 toes and you supporting any path they want to go. And it don't matter if 1 billion people in the world are against you. Because guess what? You got your one. I'm your one. And I'll fight with you. And we'll be straight. Right? So, man, that shit was deep, man. That shit was deep. It hit home for me, dog. And man, I just applaud Wade and Gabby so much for what they doing, dog. What they doing as a couple, as a support system, man, it's tough. And to hear that the mother don't even, they don't have a tight relationship, man. Say the mother is acting like us on social, giving the flack. Man, you imagine, man, if Dwayne Wade didn't give his daughter that support, dog. Who's to say if that daughter will still be? It's like they say, it's a high suicide rate in that community because people don't support. People throw darts all day. Like, we don't got our flaws, right? So Man, dog, I can't say enough about that part of the interview with Dwayne Wade, and he had a lot of good segments that I fuck with. Um, but that hit home, and it was the last part. If you want to watch it, it's Club Shay Shay's interview with him, and it's like the last 35 minutes when he really talked about it. But respect Dwayne. And I apologize on camera. I don't know if I publicly written anything on Facebook that maybe I have, maybe because I'm a joker and shit like that, so I probably say some wild shit. But hey, man, forgiveness. And Dwayne don't know me, so he probably don't give a fuck. But I'm saying sorry on camera to you for demeaning you from being a father. That's fucked up because that's all he doing. He being a father to his daughter and being the only support him and his wife that she has because the world is cruel, man, me included. So I'm taking a step back and saying, I'm sorry, dog. And I think everybody who said something, who feels a certain type of way, should go watch that man's interview and see why this is, because it can happen to any parent. Kids are born how they born. And we choose to, like, kids are born. I got 11, 10 brothers. We all different, right? As a parent, my mother's obligation is to support those kids for what they are, right? That's just it. And the better the job you do with that, hopefully, in most cases, the better the outcome comes. And if you don't, then you did your job as a parent. You tried. But to not try and throw your kid away because they didn't come out straight, man, that's tough. I got two kids, man. They young, 13 and 11. Uh, who's to say they one of them might not be straight? Who's to say? I plan on having more kids. Who's to say one of them might not come out? One of them might be homosexual. Who's to say that? But my job when I figure that out is I can't be like, oh, dog, fuck. Now internally, like Dwayne Wade said, and he mentioned this, you think like, oh man, damn. Like, what am I gonna do? It's new. Like you like, I wasn't expecting this. And that's okay. That's okay. That's human nature. But once you figure out your thoughts, once get in here and once you figure it out, like, all right, man, this is that, and I gotta do what I gotta do, then that's what you gotta do, man. So man, it changed my whole outlook, dog. Like I said, I got kids, man. If I have to come across that situation, man, I'm gonna be in a better fucking position to do it because of what Dwayne Wade said, man. And those type of interviews and that type of knowledge is what I look for in fathers, dog. And I appreciate it, man. I think it's overlooked in the world today, dog. It's overlooked the power of a parent. Like his daughter is striving right now because the Wade stepped up and said, "Hey man, we 10 toes, gang, and we gonna let the world know." And guess what? The world's finna and he say he told her the world finna throw darts, but guess who catching them with you? Me and you, and we gonna have to ignore some. We gonna have to dodge them, but guess what? At the end of the day, I need you still standing tall because you be you, and I'm gonna do my job to support you. So shout out to Dwayne Wade, man. I think that shit is phenomenal, dog, and you just made me stronger. Way away, dog. You just made me stronger, dog. Like I said, I got two, and if I have more and I come across a situation, I'm ready. I'm not even joking, dog. I'm ready because that shit was motivational to me. My daughter, I ain't gonna hold you. My daughter she's young. She's 13. She's a tomboy. You know what I'm saying? She athletic. I'm naturally. I like to think it's because of my genes. She's athletic. Who's to say that she won't grow up to be to like girls? And if that happens, guess what? I'm 10 toes with you, baby. You know what I'm saying? My son doesn't show feminine ways. But if it was happening, then listen, I was 10 toes with you, gang. Right? And I ain't gonna do it right here. We ain't fucking trying to combat. I can't fight 1 billion people, but I'm supporting you. Hey, let that go, son. We good. People are stupid, son. People need to hear that sometimes. Cause guess what? I know his daughter's reading the comments. She's reading the feedback. But her support system to let her know that she can still be herself is Gabby and Dwayne Wade and Zaire and everybody else that's in their circle. And that's dope, man. He basically saying, fuck the world, dog. I'm raising this one. You raise yours. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna raise mine. Because there's a lot of parents who think they doing a good job, but respectfully, they son a drug dealer. There's a lot of niggas in jail for murder. Guess what? They got parents. Dwayne Wade can be looking at y'all like, nigga, you ain't doing a good enough job. Maybe you ain't support your goddamn kid. Huh? Yeah. There's a lot of niggas in jail for stealing, robbing, raping. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? They got motherfucking parents. Dwayne Wade should get on social media and say, hey man, all you motherfuckers with these killer, stiller, raping, and goddamn stabbing ass kids, y'all ass. Goddamn terrible parents. Fucking fools. Huh? So that's real, man. So Dwayne, I'm sorry, dog. I'm gonna say it, you and I would never see another negative comment from me, man. You're doing a hell of a job, dude. Hell of a job. And I don't know how I was blind to it for this long. Maybe it's because I ain't heard you talk, but shout out to Dwayne. All right, so that's gonna do it for another pod, man. He Asked the Pod, episode 10. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, continue to share the pod with people that is not on my platform, and let's continue to motherfucking roll, man. We 10 pods deep, gang. We 10 deep. All right, I ain't Shannon. I ain't Gil Arenas, right? I keep fucking their name up because his last name is Arenas, and his pod is Gil Arena. But I ain't Gil Arena. I ain't Patrick Beverly pod. Those are my three favorite right now. Draymond Green, close fourth. I ain't there yet, so I ain't getting those views like I think I deserve because I think I'm putting out good content. But guess what? I'm gonna keep fucking going because I'm motivated and this is what I want to do, and I want to keep giving you guys that real raw content, man. And I know it's gonna blow because anything genuine, anything real, anything consistent gotta succeed. So shout out to y'all, man. Keep following, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep commenting, and I'm out, man. It's another episode. He Asked the Pod. Let's get it.